Okay, game 2 here, and the board reveals itself to be quite a standard-ish engine really. There's colonies to take note of, so main source of VP that way. I think the colonies outrun any kind of monument strategy you can try to go for, although you obviously don't neglect monument. Monument is still important as a source of VP. So how do you build it, right? Well, 4-3, just double amulet. If they collide, well, too bad, trash something, and then you can pick up like maybe a workers village next. If they don't collide, well then you get a couple coins and then try to build that way. You want workers village and library for draw. Mostly bandit camp is okay too, if you want, really. But I think you prefer to have either conspirators or monuments for your source of money rather than spoils. Anyway, my opponent opened with a coin of the realm, and I was scratching my head at it, but then I realized you have to have 2-5 to open coin, and my opponent reveals the 5 here and goes for the library, which I think is the best of the 5s here. Giant is touch slow and doesn't do much for you, and you want the library anyway to draw things. Rogue is gonna miss way too often. And I open with the double amulet, as I said. And so my opponent gets the library out turn 3 and is able to come up with 6 here. So you can get another library at this point if you want, but I think they do the correct thing and they pick up an amulet to try to get the trashing down. It is the only source of trashing, so you have to go for it. So here I pick up a workers village on the 4. That plus buy is going to come into play obviously at some point, as well as the actions. Not a difficult decision there. My opponent picks up his second amulet now, and as I get a coin. So here my opponent plays the amulet to trash, and here is where things get a bit tipped to my opponent, being able to play that library and the amulet for a second amulet rather. Comes up with 4 here. Conspirator is an option, but they go for the workers village, which I think is the right thing, honestly. So here I can trash this estate, and I can trash again here, which is what I'm going to do. Comp with 2, just going to pick up another coin of the realm here. 2 or 3 coin of the realms is going to be fine. You want the plus actions anyway. Not that big of a deal, to be honest. Having the coins around, that is. I mean, one criticism of coin of the realm is that it is really a copper that you are buying for $2. But I think, yeah, you can make quite good use of it here. So my opponent has 2 and picks up another coin of the realm here. I have to be wary a bit of over trash in my deck, but I'm not too worried about that. I have the coins for some money, and the amulets can give me silvers if I need them. 4 here, and this is the first interesting choice of the game for me here: Conspirator versus Monument. I have this strange attraction to Monument, and I pick up a Monument here. Aside from my strange attraction to the card, I thought it was better than the Conspirator because it works better with the library. The Conspirator doesn't reduce your hand size, it activates anyway. So that's why I picked up the Monument there over the Conspirator. Maybe I should have gone for a Conspirator first, just to keep cycling going in this early part of the game. Maybe like 1 or 2 Conspirators and then the Monument, but I went for the Monument. Oh well. So now my opponent picks up the Rogue, the Snatcher of things. I recently played a game in real life with Rogue, just snatched so many things. So I'm a bit worried about the Rogue and its ability to snatch things out from my deck. Rogue is going to be good here because you can presumably play more than one Rogue and high chance of hitting because your opponent's deck is going to be thin. And here I I choose not to trash and instead choose to go for a $5 hand for a $5 hand to get a library to start my draw. Because I have no draw right now, so I need the library. And I figure I've trashed an okay amount that the cards will pair up. And look, they do pair up, but that is what the rogue reveals. Getting rid of the workers village there is an easy call because I have plus actions in the coin of the realm already, so I don't necessarily need that workers village right away. Plus buy, I can't really make use of it yet anyway. So here my opponent has 4 and is probably faced with the same decision as me and goes for the conspirator over the library there, not the library, over the monument. So my library has been discarded, so there's no way I can kick off for this shuffle, but the shuffles are thin, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. Monument, going to call this coin, and amulet again, this time not going to trash, going to take money from it to go up to 5 to pick up a snatcher, a rogue. I don't know how rogue trashes things, and I don't know. Anyway, so here my opponent starts to have better and better turns. Workers village into library and having their pick of cards at this point. And really is one-way traffic at this point in the game from here on. My opponent gets the workers village out of the bin. This turn here is not great for me. If I wanted to stay alive in this game, I think I needed to see my library in this hand. As it is, I just see a bunch of money and going to pick up a workers village here to replace the one that was snatched. So now lots of workers villages. That rogue misses, but I knew it had a high chance of missing from what I tracked. So not too unhappy about that rogue play there, but my opponent is starting to piece together quite strong turns at this point, and is probably a bit thinner than me, to be honest. It comes up with 8 here, while trashing with the amulet, and 2 buys going for a village. Sorry, a conspirator, and now a monument. So yeah, just a bit ahead in the development. Here is my opponent. That library early up allowed them to draw and cycle a lot faster than I did, which is why this monument is probably wrong. Should have been a conspirator early game, but I'm not sure how much of a difference that would make in the end, really. So here, yeah, look, I have 8 and 2 buys, just as my opponent did there, but again, a little bit behind on the development here, going for a workers village and a monument. Here, again, now I think is an okay time to buy the monument, because you can, get the village down, more villages, then monument, then library, much more reliably than when I picked up the first monument. So my opponent is going to just continue to control things here with 12 and 4 buys, going to pick up one each of those 4 course, I believe, village, conspirator, and monument. And the only way I can hope to have a sliver of hope here is if I can draw this library that I have. And we see village, and we don't see library. Unfortunate. And I would need my opponent to draw like a handful of conspirators, but even that doesn't work because Coin of the Realm saves them. Maybe like, I don't know. I don't think anything could cause my opponent to stall, to be honest. And there's not much to say about this game. I mean, the engine is very standard. You saw how to build it maybe from 2 perspectives, starting from 3-4 and starting from 5-2. But I didn't really find this game too interesting. I thought my opponent played it very well. Built sensibly enough. Conspirators first, then monuments. The first rogue, and then they're going to follow it up with a second rogue here, just keeping things clean and under control. Clean, clear, and under control. That's some Acne product or something, right? Some brand has that. I don't know which brand. Anyway, so this is the game 2 here. Not a lot to say about it, and very soon On my next turn, actually, I'm going to resign this game because, one, I forget to put down the coin of the realm on the mat here, which is terrible. I pick up a second rogue to try to fight my opponent's two rogues, but it's all in vain. Yes, so I forget to put down the coin of the realm there, which is terrible. I thought I put it down, but obviously not. And two, and primarily, I'm just way behind in development here, and my opponent is skilled enough to carry this game home. And with a couple of rogues they have, they'll just strip my deck eventually. So didn't seem like there was much left in this game for me, so I resigned after this turn here. So thanks for watching. You can leave comments or feedback. They are always appreciated.